Okay, today we're gonna pick up the topic that we left 2 days ago. But as an introduction, we're going to talk about two. Economic is divided in two parts: microeconomic and macroeconomic. Microeconomic is a small section of the economy, and micro and macro is as a whole, the big picture. Okay. In order for you to understand this concept, I'm going to show you a couple of videos that explain the meaning of these two terms: micro and micro, micro and micro and macro. Let's watch this one first.
Microeconomics versus macroeconomics. The study of economics is divided into two major branches: microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics comes from the Greek word mikros, meaning small. Microeconomics deals with the behavior of individual actors in the economy. It can mean one consumer, one household, one firm, or even one industry. Some questions we aim to answer in microeconomics are: if price of cars go up, what happens to consumer demand? If income levels of people increase, how will demand for meat change? So microeconomics deals with the individual parts of the economy. When you hear microeconomics, think small. Macroeconomics comes from the Greek word makros, meaning big. In macroeconomics, we are interested in the economy as a whole. For example, the country's unemployment rate, changes in prices of goods, or inflation. National income, which is often referred as GDP. Some questions we try to answer in macroeconomics are: what happens if money supply increase? What causes the economy to grow over time? So in a nutshell, macroeconomics studies the economy as a whole. When you hear macroeconomics, think big.
Okay, let's stop right here and let's watch the other one.
Hey guys, I'm Surbhi and once again welcome to my channel Key Differences. Today in this video, I'm going to explain you the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. So friends, let's get started. Now first of all, we are going to understand the term economics. Economics is that branch of knowledge which studies the processes through which the resources that are scarce in nature are allocated to satisfy our most pressing unlimited wants. In other words, it studies the way we work together to transform the scarce resources into valuable and usable goods and services so as to satisfy the human wants. Now there are two branches of economics: microeconomics and macroeconomics. Now we'll understand the term microeconomics. Microeconomics is that branch of economics which studies individual units such as a consumer, household, firm, industry, and price of a product. Microeconomics examines how the scarce resources are to be allocated among people efficiently. So it covers product pricing, consumer behavior, factor pricing, firms behavior, and industry location. Macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is that branch of economics which deals with economy as a whole instead of individual aspects. Hence, here we are going to study the behavior of larger economic variables as in total consumption, total investment, total savings, etc. So, it analyzes the environment wherein the firms, households, consumers, and government takes decisions. So, macroeconomics covers national income, general price level, employment level, level of savings and investment, balance of trade and balance of payment. Difference between micro and macroeconomics. Meaning, microeconomics deals with individual units and the effect of individual decisions regarding the allocation of scarce resources. On the
Okay,
other
guys,
hand, macroeconomics
enough of information. I think this is too much for you. But anyway, I just want you to see the difference between these two terms that we are going to discuss and a little bit further in this PowerPoint. Let me see. I think we were discussing about a certain chart over here that I said we need to understand how to read a chart or table. Okay, now we agree that Luxembourg was the one who made the most sacrifice, more sacrifice than Canada, according to this chart. The first ones we thought it was Canada, but it wasn't Canada. Okay, so over here explain all this information. It's a figure 1.7. If you look at one set of numbers, you will see that Luxembourg contribute 429 million, while Canada gave more than 10 times that offer, around 4.9 billion. Question, The foreign aid Luxembourg gave represented about 1% of the value of all the goods and services the nation produced over there in Luxembourg, while Canada's contribution is, in contrast, was about 0.3% of its total economy. After studying these numbers, you might conclude that in relative terms, Luxembourg gives more than Canada in foreign aid, but it's not that true. Okay, now another type of graphic that we use is this one, the line graphics. Using graphic, when economists are interested in identifying trends, tendencies in statistics, they often use graph or visual representation of numerical relationship. The most common type is the line graphic. This one over here, we are comparing. Over here in the X are the month of the year. Over here, the month of the year. And over here is number of candles sold. Okay. Now this is how the tendency of the sale of candles. Okay. It says that in May they sell 40,000. February was like 55, something like that. Then goes down in March, and then raise in April and a little bit in May, and then from March to January it falls all the sales. Okay. Now line graphics are particularly useful to show changes over time. So this type of graphic tells you the changes during the time. Now over here, there are 3 examples of graphics. Let's study each one of them. This is line graphic, this is the bar graphic, and this is pie, a circle graphic. Now the first one, they are comparing the PCs per person. Computadoras por personas. ¿A dónde? En los United States. Over here, year by year, 2004 to 80, 2012. Okay. Oh my gosh. Now in this line, over here, the number of computers, 20, 40, 60. Now they start over here. It says that if you take 100 of people, it means that 60 of those 100, they have a computer, PC. Okay, that was by the year 2000. By the year 2004, it raised up to almost 79, 78% out of 100, and goes on until 2012. That it means that if we take 100%, it means that more than 100%, they have like 2 or 3 computers. One family or one person out of, yes, one person has 2 or 3 computers. Like in my case, I have, or maybe in your house, you have 2 or 3 laptops. So it goes beyond the 100, the top of the 100. Yeah. And right now it should be like, I don't know, like 200, something like that, over 100. It means that everybody in house has more than 2 computers or laptops back there in United States. Remember, you need to describe from what sources. Over here it says United Nations Statistics Division. That is the source where you collect all the information. Now the second one, it says world internet use by economics development. Now this is the countries. Now the low income countries, they use only not even 10%. This is in internet use per 100%, not even 10, not even, it's like 9 out of 100%. Yeah. Now the middle income countries, it raised it up to 33, something like that, out of 100. Now in United, well, no, it's not United States. The high income like Japan, France, England, United States, they have a high income. They goes up to almost 80, I think. 80 out of 100. Okay, that's what it said. They are comparing the use of internet, use the internet on these different countries, economic developed, okay, países desarrollados. You are comparing, okay. Now, on the last one, so this one they used to compare, and this how changed during line time, and this they are comparing, and this one also as a whole, all the information as a whole, okay. It says householder internet use. So familias que usan internet. Okay, now where did they get this information? From the United States, the Census Bureau American Community Service, 2013. Now they say by those years, they said that, and the purple one, it says with internet use, only the 74% of the total population in the United States, they use. By the year 2013, maybe that is increased. That year was 74, not even 3/4, not even 3/4. Okay. And the ones who didn't have internet, they didn't use internet, is like a little bit more than a quarter, okay, 26%. So all of these charts, they help you to describe what is happening or different trends or events in the economy in certain moments in a period of time, okay? Period of time, I'm saying that in 2013, this one in 2014, and this one, it didn't until 2012, okay? Now over here, I'm gonna assign you and practice for you to do it. Over here, I load up already this PowerPoint with this information. Now, in your book, your economics book, you have the same information in the assessment section, and that is on page. Let me look it up. That is on page 30 something, 30 something, 30. Yeah, that's on page 31. Page 31, it says use graphics. Graphics are among the most important tools used by economists. Create graphics. It says use the following information. Over there you see there are two tables over here. Average of price per car and number of cars sold. Now it says we use the following information about Model T. That's the first one that created Mr. Ford. okay, as shown above over here. To create 2 lines or 2 graphics, if I were you, I would create one chart with using graphic lines, and the other chart I would create the graphic bar. Okay, we saw that already. So you have to use, for one chart, use this line, this chart line, and the other graphic line, and with the other use this one bar graphic. Understood? Using this information, guys. That's very easy to do it. So we are going to discuss that for next class. Understood? Do we have any questions? Any questions? By the way, remember next week you have the first test. Test number 1. Remember, you need to study section 1, section 2, section 3, vocabularies, and all the important terms that you could see, relevance, not the examples, not the assessments, only the most remarkable or important statement that is being said in that document, in those pages, in those sections, section 1, section 2, section 3. Are we clear? Do we have any question, guys? Questions? Now is the time.